Ladies and gentlemen, many of you by now probably heard about the 11-year-old that was body slammed by a cop. Just understand, America accepts this as a form of punishment strictly on the Black community. And it's been this way since the slave catching days. Nobody gets policed in this country the way Black people are policed. Now, many of them will come, well, you guys are animals. No, we're not. No, we're not. You have to keep doing that for a reason. And the reason is you have to keep us as the underclass at all costs. Because the moment we rise, you fall. Okay? That's the real reason, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just look at the bogus shit they put us in jail for. They got a big majority of prisoners in there for non-violent drug offenses. They ain't getting you in there for no most violent crimes. That should say it all. If we were so violent, it would be reflected in the prison population, and it's not. So don't come over here with all that, well, it's this, it's that. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's none of those things that you're saying. You know, one of the things that we also must put on the table, ladies and gentlemen, when we are dealing with this presidential election, is why these Democrats have been in office, many of them running, for decades. And they have not drafted one piece of legislation to protect the very people that vote for them in a huge block. They have not drafted one piece of legislation to stop these cops from killing unarmed Black people. They have not drafted one piece of legislation to even improve upon the way policing is done in America and make sure it's enforced. The reason why is your politicians, your Democratic politicians, they all have stock in these prisons. They all have stock in the corporations that are working in these prisons. They are in the pocket of these police unions and also these prisons and these private prisons around the country. They have no intention to do anything to remedy what's going on in the Black community, and this needs to be brought out. Right up there with reparations. This should not ever be ignored. I mean, let's face it, y'all. The only kind of laws they seem to push are laws that empower cops even more, as if they don't have enough power when it comes down to dealing with the Black community. Just on the way they police us alone should be cause for reparations. Nobody is getting treated the way the Black man, woman, and child is treated in America. It's a fact. You show me all of the videos of 11-year-old white kids that are getting body slammed by cops across this nation. And you got to be realistic in your thinking, ladies and gentlemen. If the police officers are targeting Black people out in public, what makes you think these service officers in the schools are not targeting Black students when it's clear that they are? Go in your house and get a belt. Take your child outside and beat them. The cops will come, accuse you of abusing your child, arrest you, and put your child in protective service. A cop shows up, abuse your child, the law says it's okay. Too many inconsistencies in laws. And see, whenever court comes around, they make sure the laws are heavily enforced against Black people. But all of a sudden, when their own are in court, it's okay to relax the laws or even act like the laws aren't even there. Oh, go home. You just did this to your level. I'll go home. Here's your kid back. We have seen people walk for murders, rapes, pedophile teachers walking away from the courtroom and going home because these teachers are pedophiles. That's all they are. They're a bunch of pedophiles. They're not interested in teaching. The only reason why they want those jobs is to be near kids so that they can enforce their will upon a child. See, a lot of this is going on in their households when they're being raised. So it filters out into the public, and then they try to enforce their will on innocent children. Ladies and gentlemen, no 11-year-old should be body slammed by a cop. If you some grown-ass man and you can't defend yourself against an 11-year-old with no weapon and no real way of harming you, then you are the sorriest police on the street. Just like we have seen videos where a child is walking away from the cops and still get body slammed. And we need to really start quashing these prefabricated statements from cops. I feared for my life. And a lot of times we will see the video and there's nothing life-threatening happening on the video. They have pre-canned responses for everything. I thought they had a gun. They had something in their head. They touched their waist. These pre-canned responses. When you hear these things from too many of them, this is taught behavior. This is taught. So don't let your politician just get away with not giving us reparations. You make them answer the questions on why nothing has been done to stop these abusive, murderous cops that are out here. How much are you getting paid? That's what I have to ask each one of you politicians. How much are you getting paid? Who's paying you under the table to let this all go on and for so long? There's got to be money involved because money is always the biggest motivator in America. And they will choose money over human life. We've seen that. There should be no officer out on the street that does not know how to handle a child. See, what America has done, ladies and gentlemen, is give the police so much power that it makes the Black community powerless. It's done on purpose. These people are dying out. They cannot save themselves. They can't. So they're going to be violent all the way up until their last day. If you go back in the census, ladies and gentlemen, their decline started in the 50s. It's been going on for several decades. It didn't just start recently. They just recently start putting the numbers out, but their numbers have been winding down for a long time now. All you got to do is go back and look. The numbers are there. America is in a death spiral right now. America's dying. It really is, and it's dying fast. And we're going to hear more and more things that are happening now. And it's going to come out sometimes voluntarily and sometimes involuntarily. But trust me, the truth is going to come out about a lot of dirt that's going on in America. America does not have a future because it's too divided. When you are always warring with other groups of people, you can't stand for long. You may stand in a moment. You may for a moment. But you can't stand forever. Ladies and gentlemen, keep watching their birth rate. The more they war against us, the more they go into free fall with the drug deaths, the low birth rate, the suicides, even the homicides are high. Just look at what's happening in rural America. There are so many people getting in trouble with the law. They don't have anywhere to put them. They really literally don't. I did a video on that. Your mass incarceration is now happening in rural areas because the crime has gone through the roof. And you have the diseases along with the drug addiction that's spiraling out of control. STDs are up. HIV is up. Judgment is on America. And that judgment is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And they can't counteract it. So they become more violent. You can't turn around a low birth rate, not unless biologically something changes for you. But it's not changing. It's going in the opposite direction. See, deeds don't go unpunished, ladies and gentlemen. We're seeing it get punished. We are seeing it with our own two eyes. We are around very desperate people. These people want power that they are losing. And they think if they keep being violent to us, that power won't go anywhere, but the power is leaving them every day. We are at a time where everything is being revealed. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, there's far worse things coming than this college cheating scandal that you will find out real soon. America is falling because America is filled with ugliness. Everything is done in such an evil spirit behind it. Your politicians, your media, your cops, your teachers will always be in turmoil. Your citizens will always be in desperation and struggling. You know, if you look at the Bible, even the Bible tells you these folks have no redeemable qualities. And they don't. They really, truly don't. And stop trying to have these conversations about race, y'all. We are way beyond that. We are so beyond conversations. It's not even funny. And who the hell wants to have a conversation if there is no action after the conversation? If it's going to be just a bunch of sitting around and babbling and back and forth stuff, what's the point? That's stupid. If there's no action behind the words, then why have the conversation? It's counterproductive. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. Nobody needs that sort of thing anymore. Nobody should have to worry about a cop harming your child when they leave out of your house in the morning. Your child should be able to go to school and come home safely. Every single incident that I have seen where police were involved in harming a child, handcuffing a child, arresting a child, I didn't see too much of nothing going on in the damn video. What I see is a cop that was looking for any opportunity to put their hands on a Black child, and they acted on it. That's all I see. Well, I sure hope the parents lawyer up, and the school district that keeps hiring these police officers need to be sued. You need to sue the entire school district. And my question is, why are there so many resource officers in Black schools and not in the white schools where all the mass shootings are happening? But then again, we saw what happened down in Parkland. Your resource officer was a coward. And when the shooting was going on, he was just driving around with a bunch of other cowards in a golf cart. So I guess it is counterproductive to have that kind of resource officer around. But see, they feel completely comfortable targeting your Black child and fighting them and body slamming them. If children are not cooperating, that's what calling the parents is for. Pick up the phone, call the parent. But you body slamming an 11-year-old on their head, that shouldn't be acceptable to anybody. Only in America is acceptable among its people. But ladies and gentlemen, do not let these politicians get away with going year after year after year without being challenged on why they've done nothing after sitting decades in office about policing in America. There is no excuse. They've been there long enough to put many things in place. But because they are getting paid and they're in cahoots with police unions around this country, they will do nothing. Is it even worth it being a cop in America other than being some white supremacists that have free reign over doing whatever they want to the Black community? Other than that, what is policing in America? Seriously, what is it? It is the most corrupt system on the face of the earth. It has no structure. It makes no sense. It has no balance. It has no accountability. In America, nobody's accountable. The courts aren't accountable. The cops aren't accountable. The teachers aren't accountable. No damn body's accountable in America. And that's a huge part of the problem. And ladies and gentlemen, don't let these people tell you you can't complain about what's going on in America. You live here. And as long as you live here, you most certainly can speak about what's going on and what's wrong here. That's a load of bullshit. Please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. I just can't. I can't watch the video. I watched it one time. I can't do it again. But I will leave the link to this article in the description box. I don't like anybody harming children, especially when it should not have resulted in that. Did this child pull a gun on you? Did they lunge at you with a knife? Then you weren't in danger. You weren't in danger. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace, family.